three UPSC black holes that are there. First is the relevance black hole, wherein 60% of what you study isn't actually relevant. It is not PYQ or microtheme oriented, but it is completely different from usually being asked in the paper. Now, when I mean there are certain topics from which UPSC examiner often asks questions, what I mean is other microthemes. So there are some themes, these are some microthemes in which UPSC examiner is often asking questions, in which if we were to prepare those themes very well, you can be very sure in the 10 mains questions that are of specific quality that are asked. If there are 10 questions of federalism that have been asked in the last 5 years, you can be very sure that there will be at least one question from federalism that will be asked in the next year main. I would highly encourage you to go for at least 3 macro themes a day, but 2 should be bare minimum from my side. So even if you do 2 macro themes a day, that comes to around 3 months of time. So around 90 days में आपका माइक्रो थीम वाइज कवर हो जाना चाहिए. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this strategy session. In this, we'll be discussing how we can be attempting the next year's UPSC exam that is scheduled to be starting from May of 2027. So now, since we have a sufficient time, around 9-10 months, since till the prelims of 2027, what we'll be doing is we'll be first focusing on the mains part by December. And after that, from January onwards till May, we'll be trying to do the prelims part. Because in the 3 months, in the 80 days approximately that we get after the prelims, it is often very challenging in itself to complete the mains preparation holistically. So we'll try to cover the mains prep theme by theme very comprehensively as we can in the period from now, starting now, that is around the last week of July to the last week of December. So we have around good 5.5 months with us to be mains ready. Now in this, we have a few tools at our hand. See, mains preparation in itself seems very vast because there is so much syllabus. Everything is, it is often said that everything under the sun is the syllabus of UPSC. But what happens is when you separate the wheat from the chaff, we try to start making sense that actually, okay, what is being asked in different mains questions, what is actually the demand of the UPSC examiner, from which areas the questions are being asked. So if we can prepare those questions very well, those themes very well, from which multiple questions are being asked over the years, what we can do is why we can very streamline our preparation into comprehensively understanding the way in which mains prep is to be done, and we can achieve this goal we can achieve this goal very comfortably by even the last week of November. So let's keep that 1 month buffer till the last week of December. But if we follow this approach, we can do this very easily. Uh, Now, when I mean there are certain topics from which UPSC examiner often asks questions, what I mean is other micro themes. So there are some themes, these are some micro themes in which UPSC examiner is often asking questions, in which if we were to prepare those themes very well, it is almost certain that questions will come from those particular themes only. So we have identified around 425 micro themes, in which there are 95 very common themes and very common themes between prelims and mains. Then there are 215 themes which are specific to mains and 115 themes that are specific to prelims. Now this is the whole syllabus being separated into parts, in which we have divided these themes into separate mains themes, separate prelims themes, and the common themes that are overlapping between the two. From these, what we have done is we have separated 305 micro themes, in which there have been asked around two or more than two questions. Now, when two or more questions are being asked across the years from a particular theme, that means that it has crossed the examiner's eyes twice. So now we got to prepare that particular theme very well. Now, what we have is we have 119 themes from the mains perspective, 148 themes from the prelims only perspective, and around 38 themes from the which are common to both. Now, when we're talking of preparing for UPSC for the next year, what we have at our disposal is we'll look at time from in chunks perspective. We'll not look at holistically. We'll not look what we'll do in March. We'll do see what we'll be doing till December. So the focus of this particular session would be more on how to be mains ready by December. So to be mains ready by December, if you can see, there are around 119 themes that we have identified for mains specific, and there are 38 common themes. So 119 plus 38 comes to around 157 themes that we need to be ready on to be completely mains ready for by December. So when we are ready with these 157 themes, when our notes are ready, when our everything is ready, then we can easily switch to the answer writing part and the practice part. But before, we have to have ready reckoner notes for everything. So that is what we have to do, that we have to prepare these 157 mains ready micro themes, and that also we have segregated for you in this. Okay. Now if you see, it takes 5 years, not because the syllabus is vast, but because you don't have a system. So it's just 1 year of scattered effort with zero compounding. That's what happens with us. So what we'll try to do is we'll give it one good shot for 5 months with these things that we have at our disposal. I'll show you in a bit what the micro themes and the X factor notes are there for you, apart from the heat map that Civilsdaily team has generated recently. It's an excellent effort. I'll be showing you in due course of the time. Now there is the UPSC three UPSC black holes that are there. First is the relevance black hole, wherein 60% of what you study isn't actually relevant. It is not PYQ or microtheme oriented, but it is completely different from what is being asked or what is usually being asked in the paper. So what we tend to do is tend to keep on reading stuff that is not even asked in the actual paper, and then we give ourselves this false assurance that okay, we are studying 10 hours a day, but the result is not coming. UPSC is unfair and all those kind of shenanigans that we tend to have it or have a discussion on with friends with on a cup of chai. But the thing is that if you are doing the right thing, it is very easy to clear in very limited amount of time. Second, you have the application black hole wherein 30% is relevant, but if you don't know how to use it. And then there's the R&D black hole in which time is lost for unnecessary research, remaking notes, and endless consolidation. So what happens is, among all this, you tend to prepare a lot of stuff that is never asked in the exam and will probably be never asked in the exam. And while doing this, you tend to miss out on themes on which often there are in the last 5 years, there are six, seven, eight questions being asked. So it is a cardinal mistake that we in no circumstance can afford to do at all. So for that, we have a few things. Again, the effective study is only about 10% of the hours you put in. Uh, Now, what we have to do is basically we have to have micro themes, not the syllabus topics, as the unit of our preparation. So now, as I said in the beginning, we had 157 micro themes that we had identified that okay, these micro themes are the themes from which questions are being repeatedly asked by the examiner in UPSC. So uh, if we were to look at broad syllabus topics, what happens is we can never identify okay, what all are the micro themes in it. Suppose the topic is urbanization, so we what exactly is being asked from urbanization, what are the micro themes in it, so that is missing in our note making thing, so that often उसकी हमें बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. But then you have micro themes in which you can simply use these micro themes to prepare your own notes, or better you can use directly the X factor notes to prepare one pager notes for every topic. We'll be showing you how. Okay. So the old way is to study broad syllabus topics end to end with no sense of what actually repeats in the exam. Whereas the macro theme way is to break the syllabus into the smallest exam relevant units, then prioritize the one that recurs. Okay? Again, it gives you a macro view of your entire syllabus, every subject scored by how often each macro theme actually appears. So this is again, we should be getting in the heat map as well. I'll be showing you what the heat map is first. Okay. 305, as they've said, that it is a total micro themes that we need to cover. But 148 of them we'll be looking at from January onwards, not now. Our core focus should be firstly on the 157 themes, which are specifically asked for mains only. Okay. So we'll be going for these 157 bullseye. We'll try to master them all by December. And it is very easy once you get the right notes, the right guidance, and the right motivation to do the thing that you are supposed to do, and not just wasting your energy over things that are not even asked in the real exam. So as it said, 305 looks huge. It isn't. Once you see the subject by subject, it's a very finite list and a very comprehensive list as well. I'll be showing you in just a moment. So it's take polity for an example. Okay. Okay. So there are 45 microthemes in polity, in which only 35 around microthemes are there, in which there are two or more than two questions. See, like this fifth and sixth schedule, bill, citizenship, governor, parliament budget, parliament procedures, political theory, president election, RPA schedule, which from these in mains, over the last many years, there have been no questions asked. And from enforcement agencies, informal associations, etc. also, very limited questions are asked. So our focus from these micro themes, what we understand is, from federalism, around 10 questions are being asked. From constitutional comparison, 9. Non-constitutional, 9. So these are the hot list topics. So our priority order will be from here on. That we'll be doing federalism first, and constitutional comparison, and non-constitutional statutory bodies and constitutional bodies, and so on. We'll be going down the priority order. This helps us to understand how to prepare, what to prepare, how much depth one subject is to be prepared. This is what is most important, I believe, while preparing for mains, so that you can be very sure in the 10 mains questions that are of specific quality that are asked. If there are 10 questions of federalism that have been asked in the last 5 years, you can be very sure that there will be at least one question from federalism that will be asked in the next year mains. So that becomes a very important topic for you to prepare for the next year exam. So we'll be taking care of it very importantly. Okay. Now, again, so these micro themes help you identify the topics as well. So how long does it take? With notes already in your hand, around 20 days to clear quality end to end. Even if you don't have your own notes, I would strongly suggest that you go for the micro theme based notes that the Civilsdaily team is providing to you, or the X Factor notes that I'll be showing you in a bit. Both of them, in conjunction with each other, really help you in understanding the things that it is very important कि हमें समझ में आए कि what we are aiming for. कि if we have to cover GS2 in say 1 month, so if I spend 1.5 months just preparing the polity notes, which I eventually will discard because somehow I feel that they are not of the quality that I expected them to be, it is better that I use the already provided notes that are given to me in the form of micro themes and the X factor notes. And if need be, first of all, I don't think there is any need as such, as far as I've looked into these notes. But if need be, I can use these notes, the side columns on these notes, to choose a particular value addition, or add subsequent pages in between these notes to as a value addition, to make point of what I need to show, what I need to have with my notes. So I can very well use the X Factor notes as my base for the preparation, which will really help me in boosting it. Okay, so as you can see, I'll be showing you X Factor notes as well. So they have very nicely segregated the X Factor notes across different subjects for AMAC, economic, geography, ethics, Indian polity, international relations, social justice, governance, world history, post-independence, science and tech, etc. So for every topic, there are very detailed X Factor notes available, which you can liberally use for your own preparation. And then you can just add on to these X Factor notes to prepare further on, rather than making your own notes starting from scratch. I would have advised you if you had that kind of a time with you, but since we are aiming to be absolutely mains ready by December, that gives around 1 month time to per GS subject. So then we'll be trying that for each GS subject, we pick up these X Factor notes if we don't have our notes. And if we already have our notes, what we'll try to do is that we'll try to figure out the value addition part from these X factor notes into our own very notes to enhance the quality of these notes, so that when we start writing the answers, we have this kind of clarity within us. Okay. Again, as you can see, these X factor notes very clearly establish that what are the topics that are being covered in the index, and they very nicely highlight, they bold the things that are important from the subject perspective. As you can see, Article 3, single citizenship, Article 350 to 356. So, again, if you have your own notes, just look at these bold subpoints that are there, add them to your own notes, use these X factor notes to your own merry, to your own use. And if you don't have your own notes, what you can do is you can simply use these notes as it is. And you can, while revising, you can simply revise the bold part if there's any. So, fiscal asymmetry and all, you can see that this kind of subtopic division also is there. So tomorrow, if there's a answer question between how there's a vertical asymmetry, or there's a horizontal asymmetry, or there's a fiscal asymmetry, you have a ready reckoner of 10, 4, and 4, 18 points with you, in which there is core value added material that you have, which you can directly integrate into your answer to make it stand out from the rest of the answers as well. So this you can directly use in your content. Okay. So okay, as you can see, if you finish one micro theme per day, around 155 days may you can finish in the entire topic, the entire micro theme work. But I would say that one micro theme per day is a very liberal target in itself. Like now that we have ample amount of time, I'm not talking about the working aspirants. For working aspirants, I would highly advise that one micro theme per day is a good enough target to have. But if you are preparing full time, I would highly encourage you to go for two, or in fact three micro themes per day, in which you, because if you really look at a micro theme, it is not a very big topic that you cannot cover in 2 to 2.5 hours. In very certain terms, you can finish it off in 2.5 hours per micro theme, and that too, I'm giving you a very liberal time frame of 2.5 hours. So, in if you were to do just two micro themes a day, that will come to around 5 to 6 hours of core reading, validation, and everything, which you can revise even on the same day. And in the 8 hours study time of the day, you can very well keep it in your mind that I have finished these two micro themes in the given amount of time. Again, I would highly encourage you to go for at least three micro themes a day. But but two should be bare minimum from my side. So even if you do two micro themes a day, that comes to around 3 months of time. So around 90 days में आपका माइक्रो थीम वाइज कवर हो जाना चाहिए, अकाउंटिंग फॉर अदर एक्सटेंजेंसीज की, मान लो यू आर गोइंग होम फॉर रक्षाबंधन और दिवाली आ गई बीच में, एंड तबीयत खराब हो गई, फॉर ऑल दैट लेट्स टेक इट अराउंड 4 मंथ्स ऑफ टाइम, जिसमें आपका इन एनी केस यू शुड बी ओवर विद योर टाइमिंग. तो एज आई सेड कि नवंबर तक यू शुड ट्राई कि आपका मेंस प्रेप खत्म हो जाए. बट क्या होगा कि एज वी हैव टारगेट टिल दिसंबर, बिकॉज व्हाट हैपेंस इज आफ्टर 15 दिसंबर द पैनिक ऑफ प्रीलिम स्टार्ट्स किकिंग इन. तो we'll try कि any case we'll try कि November 30th तक खत्म हो जाए. But in case you have any backlog still remaining, do try to finish it off by last week of December. So this is a very guided prep that you can follow, in which you can go for the core micro themes in the syllabus. You have the notes with you, you have the themes with you. You can value add from anywhere you want. You can use the X factor notes. If you feel that somehow, if the X factor notes are not enough, you can use other notes, or you can also go for AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. to be updated with the current events or whatever relevant stuff there is still out there, which in the slightest possibility might have been left out by the X factor notes as well. Okay. So this you can do. So again, you in 90 days you'll be done with the foundation of all the GS subjects that you have. Okay. Again, it's your flexibility. You can add or remove any micro themes that you want. can keep the list to yourself. You can, if you feel like some micro thing has stopped coming, then you can simply drop it off. If you feel that okay, there is some particular micro theme that has possibly not been included in the list of micro themes that have been given, then you can simply use add that particular micro theme. So that you can do in that buffer time that we have provided to you, but try to do finish it off by the end of November. And again, integrating current affairs into your own preparation is also the key. That okay, if you have read some topic related to urbanization in the news, or there's particular suppose today you have prepared urbanization as a micro theme with you, and 5 days later there's a particular news that think you should integrate into the urbanization topic. Just simply take out your one-pager notes on urbanization that you may have prepared, or the X factor notes, and on the margins of the page, or simply add one single page in the X factor notes, or in the margins of the notes that you have made yourself, you can just add a simple reference to what you have read 5 days later. So that you have to do while integrating the current affairs into your own notes. That is very important, that you don't give very much separate time to the notes otherwise. Okay. Then you can also go for answer enrichment as well. Basically layer examples, data, and frameworks to every answer on more marks. So that is the value addition part that we often talk about. Okay. So now I'll be showing to you the micro themes that are there. So as you can see, 17 subjects. These are the micro themes. So art and culture has around 12 micro themes, 33 questions. Modern history has 8 micro themes, 30 questions. Post independence has 7. World history has 5. Society has 19. Geography has 21. So if you can look at it, it's 12, 8, 20, 27, 32, 32, and 40. 72 micro themes. Okay. If you were to do 2 micro themes per day, then it comes to around 36 micro themes, 36 days of preparation for the whole GS1. Now, 36 days of preparation almost comes to around 1 month and a week. That is a very, very good time if you can finish off GS1 in that much amount of time. With the micro themes identified, then you're very well ahead of the game in any case. Again, if you see GS2, 31 microthemes in polity, 14 in governance, 9 in social justice, and 11 in international relations. That comes to around 65 themes in GS2. Again, if you were to complete 2 microthemes per day, that comes to around 30 to 33 days में आपका GS2 complete हो जाना चाहिए. Again, 1 month में GS2. Then in GS3, because it's a big topic, we have 34 micro themes in economy, 24 in agriculture, 18 in science and tech, 13 in environment, disaster में 9, internal security में 14. So this also should be completed in around 45 to 50 days. ठीक है? And GS4 में you have 59 micro themes, 166 questions. So this, ideally the course in GS4 should be covered in around a month, even lesser, 25 days to be exact. But in GS4, the practice part becomes much, much more important. So you have to try that these 166 questions, at least 100 questions, you should brainstorm on your own using the notes provided. Okay. So as you can see, these are the micro themes: art form, Bhakti Sufi movements, etc., etc. Very nicely mapped. If you can now see, they have urban floods as a micro theme. Now, how much time would it take to prepare urban floods? It's not that big a topic. After all, the EVs is a topic. How much time would it take to prepare EVs? It's hardly 1 hour. I'm giving you 2 hours, so you can easily cover 2 micro themes in a day. Ideally, you should be going for 3 or 4 to cover the syllabus early, so you can start the answer writing practice to gain much more edge over the others. But in the given amount of time, do try that you are not setting a low target for yourself. If you see, these are the comprehensive start to end GS1 to GS4 micro themes on one single page that you can take a printout, paste it on your wall, and just start highlighting, ticking out, scratching out what you have done already. Your aim should be to cross over every single micro theme that you have covered and to reach the end quality of service delivery topic that is written here, to reach the end of this page as soon as possible, because that will really, really push you ahead of others in this UPSC preparation. I hope it really helps you understand what I'm trying to do. If you really see, these are not very big topics. See, world was after independence or industrial revolution, diversity and pluralism. These, if you try, you can do them very easily also. So don't push them. See, again, PYQ analysis you have. Every single theme, every single theme has mapped out questions, how many questions have been asked in Indian culture, modern history, freedom struggle, post-independence of the world, salient features of Indian society, role of women, urbanization, globalization, social empowerment. Every single syllabus pointer has been broken into micro themes and has been given the due weightage of PYQs that have been asked for you yourself to judge how many questions have been asked for a particular year across the years. Okay? So इसलिए it is very, and they have also given the questions for you to practice as well. What else could be better? As you can see, every question, every micro theme mapped with the UPSC PYQ, whatever they've been asked. See, there's this decolonization. So there have been four questions that have been asked. Again, you can practice once you have read the decolonization part, then at the evening after due revision, you can simply brainstorm these PYQs as well to see if your notes are sufficient enough to answer the PYQs or not. That will really help you build an edge over the others. Say on for 2 days you do this, that you use the X Factor notes to prepare your own notes, or you use the X Factor notes directly for your notes. Then suppose on day one you complete two micro themes using this approach. That will take around 4 hours. You take a break of 1 or 2 hours. Then you again for 2 hours do a revision of what the notes you have made or what you just read from the exacter notes. Then you again take a break of 1 to 2 hours. And in the evening, when you are just before sleeping, 2 hours, 3 hours slot that you have, you simply start brainstorming the answers that okay, what all questions have been asked on the topic that I have made notes on in the morning and in the after the lunch. The what will happen is basically you'll get a sense of how in depth your notes are. Number one, how in depth the notes are actually required to answer the UPSC question that is being asked. That is, in fact, more important to understand how much depth we need to go into. And thirdly, do I need to refer to any other sources other than what I'm already referring to answer the questions that have been asked in the PYQ? Because you have to understand questions won't be very different from what have been already asked in the previous year questions. So you have to make it a point that you are able to analyze that you're doing a very targeted preparation by yourself and you're not just doing anything under the sun. Even while making notes, you have to be very centered on the core goal that okay, I am making these notes for writing the answers in the main paper. I am not making these notes to sell them on Telegram or sell them in the open market, whatever be the case. I am making these notes so that I can refer them whenever I required while writing the answer in the mains. See, every syllabus pointer has been broken into micro themes mapped with a particular question with the year and the marks they were allotted. Society, urbanization, globalization, social empowerment, geography, resources, etc., etc., etc. Then GS2. This PDF will be provided to you, and you can use it to your advantage. Very this like this these PDFs of extractor notes and this can help you in completely doing this preparation on your own whenever you require. There is nothing that you will be lagging on after you are through with this. Okay. I'll just show you till the end of this PDF that they have how they beautifully they have mapped every single thing. How much effort that must have gone into preparing this kind of a PDF. You can imagine. EI in EI cross administration, EI concept and utility, EI crisis of conscience, EQ versus IQ. So on one particular day, you can prepare all these four micro themes just by preparing emotional intelligence. Okay. So this is how you can fast track your preparation as well. And then you can simply brainstorm these questions and you can judge yourself whether you are preparing the notes on the right track or not. Again, code-based Abdul Kalam, Abraham Lincoln, Swami Vivekanand, Tiruppural, etc. Every year updated till the last means that happened 2025. Case studies, in fact, they have now. Okay. So I'll show you now the X Factor notes. If you see these X Factor notes, this is the disaster management का PDF, ठीक है? Introduction to disaster management, every type of natural disaster, earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, urban floods, landslides, GLOF, droughts, cyclones, heat waves, etc., anthropogenic disasters, disaster management framework in India, disaster risk resilience, etc. ठीक है, जस्ट गिव मी मोमेंट। हाँ, तो ये जितनी भी आपके टॉपिक्स हैं, यू कैन इजीली यू नो जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड कि आप इसको किस तरह से कर सकते हैं। जैसे डिजास्टर रिलेशंस का हो गया, मैनेजमेंट साइकिल हो गया, टाइप्स ऑफ डिजास्टर्स एक्सेट्रा, है ना। इस तरह से आपके लिए सब कुछ रेडी कॉर्नर में यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है। टाइप्स ऑफ अर्थक्वेक्स विद, लाइक यू डोंट इवन नीड टू रीड द एंटायर थिंग, they have gone to the effort that they have emboldened everything, that it is, that is very important from the line perspective as well. Suppose you already have taken a foundation course somewhere and you are now preparing for the specific means part, say, or you have not taken that, you're just preparing for mains only, and you kind of know the stuff that is there. So you can simply, what you can do is you can say there's a topic of earthquake detection and declaration. You can just simply seismic event detection, magnitude threshold, intensity versus magnitude assessment, and post event assessment. So you have four phrasal points which you can directly copy into your answer as well. You don't need to remember the whole line that they have given आगे। institutional framework है मान लो, तो डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट, एनडीएमए, एसडीएमए, एनडीआरएफ, एनआईडीएम एंड नेशनल सेंटर ऑफ सिज्मोलॉजी, नथिंग एल्स रिक्वायर्ड भाई। इफ यू वांट टू मेक क्रिस्प नोट्स आउट ऑफ इट, कि मुझे इंस्टीट्यूशनल फ्रेमवर्क पता होना चाहिए मान लीजिए, तो इन योर पेज you just use the disaster management act comma ndma comma sdma ndrf. You don't have to put that much brain effort also in actually able to make a sense of कि इस particular line में भी क्या important, that also has been done for you. All your effort is required is you somehow make that kind of a push for yourself कि कम से कम मैं इन नोट्स को पढ़ तो लूँ, आई assimilate them in myself, कि मैं समझ तो लूँ कि ये जो नोट्स हैं जो मुझे प्रोवाइड किए जा रहे हैं, जो अपने आप में पूरे हैं, जिसमें लाइक आई एम नॉट मिसिंग आउट ऑन एनीथिंग, तो मैं इनमें क्या क्या ऐड कर सकता हूँ, क्या क्या यूज कर सकता हूँ, कैसे कैसे उनको इंटीग्रेट कर सकता हूँ अपने नोट्स में, या फिर अगर मैं इन नोट्स को डायरेक्टली यूज कर सकता हूँ तो अपने आंसर्स में कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं, तो वो है। तो एवरीथिंग अलोंग विद डायग्राम्स, हाउ सुनामी फॉर्म्स, इतना भी है, everything. See, 8 points. Non-structural measures, shift to flood relief, resilience, integrated river basin management, strengthen transboundary cooperation, community-based preparedness, etc., etc. If you can see, ये this is very interesting thing that you can use it. Like ये बहुत अच्छे से they have given for every single subject, social justice, science and text, international relations, Indian polity, every single one, ancient। ठीक है। अब मान लीजिए हम देखते हैं, सपोज वी लुक फॉर पॉलिटी, बिकॉज इसके नोट्स की कई बार दिक्कत आती है, बिकॉज प्रीलिम्स में तो हमारे पास लक्ष्मीकांत होती है, बट हमारे पास पॉलिटी के लिए इसमें नहीं होता, मेंस के लिए कुछ भी कंप्लीट नहीं होता है। अगेन सिलेबस वाइज आपका डिवीजन हो रखा है यहाँ। तो नेचर ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, सेलिएंट फीचर्स, सिटीजनशिप, अमेंडमेंट्स, फंडामेंटल राइट्स, डीपीएसपी, फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज, फेडरलिज्म, एग्जीक्यूटिव, पार्लियामेंट, इलेक्शंस, जुडिशरी, लोकल गवर्नमेंट, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एंड स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडीज एंड कंपैरिजन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस। ठीक है। चैप्टर के स्टार्टिंग में आपको पीवाईक्यूज है, अगर आपको कोर्ट बेस्ड इंट्रोडक्शन देने तो कोर्ट्स हैं, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के फंडामेंटल लीगल रूल्स क्या है वो एम्बोल्डन करके आपके लिए जो भी चीजें उस पॉइंट के हिसाब से इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, वो चीजें आपको एम्बोल्ड करके पहले ही दे रखी है कि आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इन फेवर फंडामेंटल राइट, जीपीएसपी, पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम। तो दो चीजें, इफ यू फाइंड, इफ यू आर यूजिंग दीज नोट्स एज योर बेस मटेरियल, तो if you find them bulky, what you can do is you can simply jot, suppose I am preparing this particular micro theme in a day, जिसमें नेचर ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के कुछ माइक्रो थीम्स आ रहे हैं। ठीक है। तो आई एल जस्ट पुटिंग नेचर ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, आई एल यूज दिस एज माई टेक्स्ट बुक नोट्स, ये मेरी टेक्स्ट बुक है। उसके बाद आई एल जस्ट पुट इन अ हेडिंग इन माई नोट्स, आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इन फेवर, देन under that subhead, I'll put fundamental rights, comma, DPSP, comma, the parliamentary system, comma, the federal structure, comma, the emergency provisions, and so on, the art चीजें जो। उससे क्या होगा कि ये जो 262 पेज की पीडीएफ है, ये आपके नोट्स में आने के बाद इट विल रिमेन टू अराउंड 50-55 पेजेस एट मैक्स, इफ यू फाइंड देम बल्कि, बिकॉज सम पीपल डू। इफ यू डोंट फाइंड देम बल्कि, इफ यू फाइंड कि मैं यहीं पे बोल्ड बोल्ड चीजें देख के आई कैन रिवाइज इट क्विकली, देन नथिंग लाइक इट, जस्ट सिंपली गो फॉर, in case there is a value addition in which from a particular mock test you find, say, or it's some other notes you find, in which you find that there's maybe one or two lines that are different from what is written here, or some other knowledge point that is different from here, you can simply add it on here only. So this is how you can use these notes. You don't have to panic or think of कि okay, एक किसी भी पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट के लिए मेरे पास कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव नोट्स नहीं, बिकॉज दैट प्रॉब्लम इज नाउ सॉल्व फॉर यू। आपके पास एक्स फैक्टर नोट्स हैं फॉर एवरीथिंग अंडर द सन। यू डोंट हैव टू थिंक कि अच्छे हैं कि नहीं, यू वन लुक एट इट एंड यूल रियलाइज कि देखिए, आपको जजमेंट्स के लिए अलग से भागदौड़ करने की जरूरत नहीं है। एक पेज पे आपके पास सारे जजमेंट्स हैं विद द एस्पेक्ट दैट आर रिलेटेड टू, कि रंजीत सिंह केस है तो न्यू फंडामेंटल राइट टू बी फ्री फ्रॉम द एडवर्स इफेक्ट ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज, एमसी मेहता केस, सुभाष कुमार केस, वेल्लोर सिटीजन केस। 8 केसेस यहाँ पे दिख रखे हैं एनवायरमेंट के लिए। यहाँ पे आपके 8 केसेस है, 10 केसेस है जेंडर जस्टिस के लिए। तो आपके लिए तो चीजें बहुत आसान हो गई हैं। तो यूज देम टू योर एडवांटेज। यूज दीज नोट्स की आपको इसमें हेल्प हो, चिल्ड्रन के लिए, ट्राइबल्स के लिए, माइनॉरिटीज के लिए। बोल्ड करके आपको केसेस के नाम विद ईयर्स एंड देयर ब्रीफ वन लाइन इंट्रो दे रखा है। फॉर अस इट वाज अ वेरी टीडियस टास्क टू डू। नाउ यू आर गेटिंग इट सर्व्ड ऑन अ प्लेटर, सो यूज इट टू योर एडवांटेज एंड स्कोर वेरी वेरी हाई मार्क्स इन मेंस। As you can see, everything start to end, it's a very comprehensive document. Now, one more thing that they have done is they have prepared a heat map, and this is very interesting. So, say this they have done this for prelims, 19 years of papers mapped across the subject, and then they have done the mains. So, what they have done is for every GS, say I am going to GS2 या GS3 मान, ठीक है, and they have now, see if you can see, there's this economy के questions कितने आए हैं, एग्री के कितने आए हैं, साइंस एंड टेक के कितने हैं, एनवायरनमेंट के कितने हैं, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी के, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट के कितने कितने क्वेश्चंस हैं। दे हैव मैप्ड इट अकॉर्डिंग टू हाउ हीट मैप एज वेल, लाइक कि अगर 10 है तो यू कैन सी कि बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस है, तो यू गेट द सबकॉन्शियस क्यू भी आपके पास आते रहते हैं। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, द मोस्ट इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट इज, मान लीजिए एग्रीकल्चर के 4 है, तो इफ आई क्लिक ऑन दिस कि 4 एग्रीकल्चर के मुझे 2025 के देखने हैं। अच्छा, पहले तो मुझे पता है, सबसे पहले मुझे इन्होंने बताया माइक्रो थीम्स, कि क्या क्या माइक्रो थीम्स कवर हुई हैं। क्रॉप डाइवर्सिफिकेशन, फूड प्रोसेसिंग, ये इसके बारे में यूपीएससी अच्छा, खाली ये नहीं बता रहे हैं कि कौन से माइक्रो थीम इसमें कवर हुई, इस पर्टिकुलर माइक्रो थीम पे पहले के 12 सालों में कितने क्वेश्चन आए हैं वो भी बता रहे हैं। तो इट इज अ वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग दैट दे हैव डन, कि जहाँ पे यू कैन गेट अ वेरी होलिस्टिक स्टडी कि अच्छा ओके, इसमें यहाँ पे इतने क्वेश्चन आते हैं, ये पर्टिकुलर थीम पे इस साल आया है, और इस पर्टिकुलर थीम पे पहले सालों में इतने क्वेश्चन आए। सो इट रियली हेल्प्स यू टू अंडरस्टैंड क्योंकि हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट अ पर्टिकुलर थीम इज, और वेयर दिस दैट। कई बार हमें ऐसा लगता है ना कि ये क्वेश्चन तो बाउंसर था, ऐसे तो कभी पहले पूछा ही नहीं गया, तो वो वाली चीज भी आपकी यहाँ पे सॉल्व हो जाती है। कि जैसे क्वेश्चन से पहले आपको पता है एग्री मार्केटिंग का है ये क्वेश्चन, फैक्टर्स इन्फ्लुएंसिंग से पहले आपको पता होगा क्रॉप डाइवर्सिफिकेशन का क्वेश्चन है, ये फूड प्रोसेसिंग सेक्टर का है, ये टेक फार्म का है। अब इसके बाद ये भी पूछता है कि व्हाट इज गेटिंग आस्क्ड लेटली, कि क्रॉप डाइवर्सिफिकेशन में 3 of its 6 question came up in the last 5 years, land reforms पे 3 of its 5 question came up in the last 5 years, tech x farm productivity in the last 5 years. So this is the kind of thing that will really streamline your यूपीएससी prep journey very very thoroughly, कि आपको एकदम you will never have to run around to simply understand कि एक्चुअल में यूपीएससी पूछ क्या रहा है। वो दिक्कत आपकी हमेशा के लिए यहाँ पे they have solved it for you। ठीक है, अब अगेन, हाउ हार्ड द क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड, तो यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन डिफिकल्टीज चलो हायर साइड पे है, मीडियम लेवल की है, लर्निंग कवरेज भी हाई है। ठीक है, अब माइक्रो थीम्स भाई हाउ मच यूपीएससी आस्क्ड देम ये इन्होंने बता दिया। उसके अलावा अगेन, कितने आप कॉन्फिडेंट हैं, क्या आपका सिस्टम है, इरिगेशन सिस्टम वगैरह पे कितने क्वेश्चन हैं, इन सब पे कितने हैं, आपको कैसे कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है, एवरीथिंग अंडर द सन दे हैव मैप्ड इट फॉर यू थॉरली ईयर वाइज, राइट एन आंसर सबमिट कर दीजिए, एवरीथिंग दैट इज देयर इज अवेलेबल हियर। ठीक है। सिमिलरली फॉर प्रीलिम्स एज वेल, प्रीलिम्स में भी ऐसा ही है। मान लीजिए कि मैं एग्रीकल्चर का तो नहीं, साइंस एंड टेक का देखता हूँ कोई, अगेन कीप्स आस्किंग, मैंने वो बता दिए सब सब हेड क्या क्या है। ठीक है। उसके बाद 2026 में क्या पूछे गए वो बता दी क्वेश्चन के साथ, 2026 में क्या पूछे गए, फिर व्हाट इज गेटिंग आस्क्ड लेटली, हाउ हार्ड क्वेश्चन इज, माइक्रो थीम्स कितने कितने पूछे गए। तो आपके लिए ये टेक एनेब, और ये दिस विल बी प्रोवाइडेड टू यू फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट टू ऑल ऑफ यू, कि आप इसको सबको एक्सेस कर सके। तो यूज इट टू योर ओन एडवांटेज, जहाँ पे आप इसको यूज करके यू मेक इट अ पॉइंट दैट यू प्रिपेयर फॉर दिस एग्जाम। एक, अब आपके पास कोई बहाना नहीं होना चाहिए कि मेरे को पता ही नहीं था, या आई डेंट नो व्हाट टू प्रिपेयर और एनीथिंग। इससे ज्यादा कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव डॉक्यूमेंट फॉर योर प्रिपरेशन पॉसिबल ही नहीं है। तो डू ट्राई कि आप इसको अच्छे से, यू यूज दिस टू योर वेरी गुड एडवांटेज।